Big fantasy football seed-changing news happened since the last Draft-a-Palooza. Rankings being updated. Everything's changed. And guys, the news is actually good for me. So we had some clarity on a couple situations, or early clarity, and I'm going to help everybody avoid a disaster. Now, if you've been following along with me pretty much all draft season, one of the players I have very little exposure to, almost no exposure. Let's take a look. I'm going to actually look and see if I'm correct about this, but I don't even know. No, don't even. Give me some exposures. But one of the players I have very little exposure to this season is Rashee Rice. And part of the reason that I don't really have much exposure to Rice, look at all this Hollywood Brown, right? Oh, this is, who knows how many drafts are here. But one of the reasons I don't have as much exposure to Rashee Rice was because he's had some legal troubles, right? He's had some legal issues. Here, the Schnauzer. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to check full exposures across everything, right? But I really didn't take Rice almost at all this year because he's had legal troubles. So now the legal troubles are starting to get settled and suspension is looming. Rice's issue was, that thing where they're drag racing or basically speeding. He got a 30-day, I believe, prison sentence for whatever he did. So now, and 5 years probation. So now the NFL has to act. And what's the NFL going to do? We're going to be seeing for Rashee Rice anywhere from a 4 to 8 game suspension, with the most likely outcome, in my opinion, in my uneducated, what the fuck do I know? This guy ain't connected to anything. But yet here I am giving opinions. In my opinion, we're looking at a 6-game suspension for Rashee Rice. Now, why is this significant? In best ball, especially the Eliminator, which we've been playing a ton of, but in best ball in general, you get a player who's it's cumulative score essentially to get into the playoffs. If you take a guy, Rashee Rice has been going at the top at the end of round 2. If you take a guy in round 2 that doesn't play for the first 6 weeks, you're not getting back in it. Yeah. Oh, he killed people. Yeah. He would. I don't know. Yeah. No, there was issues there. I think it might have been drag racing though. I don't think it's. So I think there's a second level to this in the sense that it was drag racing. And speaking to insiders around the NFL, and I do know some insiders, they're telling me the NFL really they want to put a stop to all this speeding shit, Henry Ruggs, killing people, all of this. It's been happening too much. It's becoming a trend and they don't like it. So they're probably going to look to make an example here. And that's why even an 8-game suspension is on the table. I think it's a little crazy to suspend somebody 6 to 8 weeks for this, but then somebody's beating his wife or his girlfriend, and that's less. Listen, morality, I don't know. I'm just saying what's going on. But more important for our purposes, that's one situation. So what is the fantasy effect? Immediate, in my mind, drop from Rashee Rice. He goes from the end of round 2, which I never had him at anyway. I always knew the suspension was potentially looming anyway. So I never had him up there. But yeah. Well, I'm getting to Addison because that's the second part here. But the effect of Rashee Rice, to me, in best ball, toast. Right? I don't want players who aren't going to play for the first 6, 7, 8 weeks. That's no bueno for me. I'm not making the playoffs when I have a guy like that on my team. Certainly not if I drafted him in the first 3 rounds. So he drops for me to pick. I think I dropped to around pick 80 overall. He's still a good player. And when you get later on and, hey, we don't know how many games and what if it's only 4 or 3? There are all these possibilities. It's still a gamble. So he gets a drop. Of course, the beneficiaries, I love the secondary beneficiary the most. The primary beneficiary is, of course, Xavier Worthy, who will regain his lead WR role for the team, at least for the first X number of weeks. And then what ends up happening is you lock that shit down. And even when Rice comes back, Worthy's probably going to be the man. Now, the second guy who benefits is, and there's a third, But the second guy who benefits is Hollywood Brown. No one likes Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown is somebody. I have a ton. Look at my fucking shares, dude. I have a ton of Hollywood Brown just for this reason. I already liked him. I like Hollywood. But now Hollywood gets the chance to be out there without somebody else sucking up all of the targets. So Hollywood Brown, arrow pointing up. We have a ton of experience. You've been following along with me. He's one of those names that we always click late in drafts. So happy about that already. This is one of the reasons why it's okay to draft early. First of all, we avoided Rashee Rice. Great. Another guy who I avoided, Addison, who's also now looking to settle his issues. Now, Ray, I do think Addison is in trouble. I do think he's in trouble in the sense that they still gave him an alcohol-related DWI conviction. I think that's got to carry a 2, 3, 4 game suspension as well. So I think he will get suspended for a few games, Addison. But when you think about where you're taking him, yeah, I'll drop him a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Bobby Wow knows what's up. Hollywood is good. Hollywood's a good player. People forget that he's good. People forget that Hollywood Brown is a good player, a number one wide receiver in his own regard. So I love Hollywood Brown. I couldn't trade, last year before the season started, Hollywood Brown was injured. I couldn't trade for him. People were excited about him. So with Addison's injury, who does that really benefit? Well, there's not really another wide receiver on the Vikings that's going to get a hold of Naylor. I don't know. There's not really anybody else there, I think. I think it helps Hawkinson the first few weeks, and I especially think it just causes Justin Jefferson to get peppered with targets for those first few weeks. That's it. So Addison dropping a little bit. Rashee Rice, massive drop. Risers are Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, so there we go. How many underdog drafts have we done? Every single draft that I've done, They Love Brandon, every single one has been streamed. So I am exclusively drafting during stream. So you can see, what does this show? We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 16, 17, 18, and another 13. So 16, 20, 23, 25, 37, 38 drafts so far, all on stream, everything on stream. Let's draft now. Let's go back to the Eliminator, our favorite contest. Let's get it going. Let's do number 38. Is that a lot? Ray Zanny, 38 so far. How do I look compared to you? Oh, great. Oh, boy. All right. We know how to get around some of these issues. Let's see if we can clean this thing up. 38 drafts, 38 drafts in, 37 so far. We're going for number 38. Eliminator. Here we go. 20 seconds per pick. $10 entry. Fetching your draft. We are in. Eliminator. There you go. Big Betty Beaver says Jaron Naylor is. You know what? Okay. Maybe Naylor, late pick. He's available at the last pick of your draft. What's my goal for this year? Right? It's as many as I can get in. I'd love to have, 150 teams across all of this, maybe more. I don't have a goal. I just like drafting these. The more, the better. I know that I'm not going to. I know that I'm not going to be the best at. I have to force concentration in these drafts, or I cannot hold focus. So the fast drafts that I'm doing now, this is the only way I could do it. It's really only in stream. But in another few weeks, I'll start having a bunch of slow drafts all kind of going simultaneous. I haven't loaded those up yet. That's probably something I'll do in August, where I'll just add a bunch of slow drafts. I can't, when I have a slow draft going, I can't really get as much thought into it. It's just like I'll have 50 of them. It's constantly popping up. I make mistakes. in those two. I missed picks, and they all turned to shit. And I don't think that's a fair judgment of myself if I'm missing picks. I know it's a weird thing to say, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, if I'm missing picks, I don't think it's a fair assessment. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names here in the draft with us. Majestic Otter, it's very familiar. You're in here. I know you are. Oh, there we go. Jason Calhoun in the third spot. So we got a new friend in here with us. Tattoos in there. Fungul, the Polak redneck, is in here. Darth Apple, what's up? Tom Nolan, that looks familiar. Tom Nolan, are you in the chat? The only Mr. Smith, Soups, of course, and I am at the 112-1 turn. Okay, there we go. Has the draft started yet? It has. Okay. Why can't I open up the draft board? Is this an issue? Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get the draft board going on screen. Hang on. I know there's nothing in the share. I see it. Let's get that going on screen. Okay. And once again, guys, note the difference. Oh, yeah, Magic Eye. Oh, there we go. I knew it. Sean Hoy, you haven't been with us for a minute. Note that once again, as I've said, this format, this eliminator format, we are doing the eliminator. We always do an eliminator. That's like the automatic. Got to be in a lot of eliminators. But in this format, you do see that the running backs definitely get pushed up a little bit as far as where they get taken in ADP. The wide receivers drop a little bit. You know, that could provide opportunity or not. Maybe it's providing opportunity, or maybe it's not. Took Janny with the first pick. Going to go Taylor and go with the trend of early running backs in this format. There we go. We are off to the races in an eliminator format, guys. Remember, I'm really curious. I wish it wasn't everybody in this fucking draft that's in this chat, because we won't get a real sense of where like Rice and Addison are falling to, because I'll just rip on you relentlessly if you take Rice anywhere before like round 6 or 7. But let's see if one of these other guys in here do that, I guess. That's all I can do. People's Republic of Daniel with the early pick of Josh Jacobs. Right there, that's a bit too soon. Why is the screen not updating? What is going on? There we go. That was weird. Okay. Josh Jacobs, Drake London, Drazy. Bucky goes to Darth Pasta. Yeah, so with Rice news, think about how the season is going to play out now. It starts out maybe 6 weeks without Rashee Rice. There's King Mono. What's up, my brother? So 6 weeks, no Rashee Rice. Then he comes back, and then like he's got to work his way back in a couple of weeks of like this or that. You know, maybe a rapport has been established between Worthy or Hollywood and Mahomes. So I don't think that even after the 6 weeks, that it means that Rashee Rice is just going to come in and kick ass and take names. That's part of the issue. There's Rashee Rice still showing in an ADP of 27 overall. I like that. So watch what happens here as somebody not in this chat with us. Just like that ADP situation is going to be staring them in the face, and they're just going to take it. Let's see how it goes. But I do think there's a momentary edge. And like I said, for me, this is kind of a lucky break because I just haven't been drafting Rice anyway. I know, and we knew that the suspension was looming. We've known this. Now it's just become official, but I've known it the whole time. And so I was like, well, why are people taking this guy this early? The other reason I've avoided taking Rice for the most part in these drafts is because on Underdog, I don't really see Rice as like a touchdown scorer. I see him very much as a PPR beast, PPR and yardage beast. In his best, when he's doing his best, he's a PPR and yardage beast, which is not really helpful to me necessarily on underdog. So I've been avoiding this guy anyway, because I just don't find that what he does is something I'm needing a ton of on underdog. So, kind of a lucky break in that sense. Here we go. We got an auto pick, and it's he got Hurts. I thought he was going to auto pick him some Rashi. Imagine, Soups, that it's you that accidentally auto picks him. Wouldn't that be funny? Just going to grab my guys. I got my 3 running backs already, so I took Devontae Adams as my first wide receiver. I like him more than Marvin Harrison. Yep, I said it. My man, I think we'll be going strong for most of the offseason. So yeah, I do expect we'll be having this going. But King Mana, it's not just that. We'll switch up the timing a little bit. Well, we're going to keep our best ball going throughout the summer. Draft-a-Palooza never ends. It's a party that don't stop. Ain't no party like a Draft-a-Palooza party, because a Draft-a-Palooza party don't stop. So we ain't stop. But we're also going to be doing some back test streams, and we have some other exciting things planned for DFS. Just to get better at DFS, to train our brains to be good at DFS and to approach DFS the right way. So, and how to use the domination station optimizer and all that great stuff. So, stay tuned for that. That's coming in August. We're not doing that in July. A little too soon. But in August, we'll be doing it. We're doing them in the evenings. I might switch a lot of this to the evenings. I want to, enjoying the weather is also an important part of everybody's summer. So I want to do a little bit of that as well. I was outside all day today, up until now, just screwing around by the pool, skimming some leaves, doing that kind of thing. Got to get your brain focused on fantasy football, especially by August. Like we are locked and loaded here. We are honed in, locked and loaded. Like I'm to the point where we've done so many of these where you're like, hey, I already know what round every player is going in. Like if somebody tells me I'm picking from the 3 hole, I'm like, oh, did you get Beach on? Like I already know what the turn might be. We've already established our favorite sort of punts, and more are popping up to the surface. But for the most part, we feel really good so far about like the overall knowledge of fantasy football. A big part of fantasy football, because not just best ball, but also your season-long league, a big part of it for me is, navigating the draft, right? Navigating the draft is a big part of it. Can I wait another round for this guy? Am I taking him too early? Should I reach for someone here? What is a reach? Where should somebody be ranked? All of that is a really, really big part of everything. Yeah, listen, on this note, somebody could get hurt before the season starts, although that's rare. But, situations change, right? I think a bigger part of early drafting is you have to assume some situations. Situations are going to change for people. Like a player that we don't really know if they're going to be a starter right now, rookies, and all of a sudden a coach says, yeah, we love him, he's starting. I'll tell you another name. By the way, I totally forgot to mention this piece of news, lost in all the other news, and it's minimal news. It's not that important, but it's a little important. So stick around. Let me make my picks here. But then I just remembered that there is some other curious and interesting news happening right now. And it's minor, but it's not that minor. So another change is Mike Williams retired. Okay, Michael Williams, the hang on, gotta make a pick. Hold up. Okay, I got him. All right. All right, Mike Williams. Fuck, that was scary. I was trying to get Waddle. It took Flowers, whatever. Did I miss when Rashee Rice was auto-drafted? Wait, let's make fun of that. Hold on. Where is that? Rashee Rice went to Tom Nolan. No, Tom, what are you doing, bro? Who is Tom Nolan? I don't know. 2 rounds ago. So anyway, back to it. Mike Williams retires. Now you might be thinking, it was an auto draft, Soups. I was trying to take Waddle there. That auto drafted Zay. That's on me. That's on me, Soups. You know I wasn't going to take Zay. You're right. Yeah, I got auto drafted. And look at fucking Ricky Pearsall. Really? Really, Darth Apple? Really? Taking him ahead of Jawan Jennings? That's just slapping me in the face. Like, yeah, we're listening to you. So I appreciate it. But at the same time, upset. Darth Pasta, just so you know, Pearsall doesn't go for like another round and a half in standard drafts. Like he goes a round and a half, 2 rounds after Jawan. It's crazy. But that's how it goes. All right. So Mike Williams retires. What does that mean? Well, 2 players benefit from that. And is the benefit huge? I don't know. But Quentin Johnston, who flashed a little bit last year, was not very good, but at least I would say flashed a little bit last year. Quentin Johnston. Fine. So Quentin Johnston, interesting. Now is a super, super late kind of third pick, but nonetheless, interesting. He won't be blocked by Mike Williams. But the big one is Trey Harris, 2nd-round rookie, wide receiver picked by the Chargers, is now looking like he is set up to start on the X with McConkey primarily playing in the slot. Trey Harris. Okay. Trey Harris. Playable. Ooh, I did not see that, but I like it. That is a death blow, which is good because I didn't really draft much Jaden Blue, and I've got a ton of Javonte. Man, can you imagine if Javonte comes through this year and does what he's supposed to do or what people think he can do, and I fucking have all these shares? That would be so crazy. It's hard to even fathom it. There's Addison creeping up in the ADP. Who will take him? I think Godwin is a risky pick in this format. So far, I've got 3 wide receivers, Adams, Ridley, Flowers. I've got 3 running backs, Janty, Taylor, Cook. And that's it. I'd like to get a little more running back action going, but maybe not here. Wide receiver group is getting thin. Tight ends are pretty good. QB is still pretty good, but nothing I need. So no. Oh, holy shit. So we got Kelsey. I keep taking Kelsey here in round 8. I don't really think he's that bad. I get it. Taylor Swift, she's annoying, but I don't think Kelsey's that bad. I'll take him in round 8. I don't like the double pick. If Javonte does 1,000 yards, I need you to get a DFS Army tattoo. You probably would do it anyway. Fucking helmet. By the way, the upside for Golden is massive. Who is the actual number 1 wide receiver on that team? But I don't love Golden's prospects, but if it does work, it could work really well. It could work really well. I don't love the prospects. A lot of names on that team, but I think he'll have good games. Fungul takes Addison. Pick 92. Says, I don't care about the early weeks. You don't care about it. That's fine. Mahomes goes to Sean Hoy. Travis Etienne, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Not my favorite this year. Yeah, I mean, Judkins is really looking like, oh, there goes Javonte. Really? At 98? Don't go that crazy, Sean. Jesus. That's too soon. Too soon. I know I do these drafts with you guys. I can never get my guys. Like, they're taking them 3 rounds ahead of ADP. Where were we? Yeah, Judkins is also undraftable here. Whoever took Judkins, he's going to be suspended. Probably. Actually, Judkins might not get suspended. I think he will, but he might not. Not this year. Sometimes the NFL waits until the case fully plays out in court for these suspensions. So I don't know 100,000% that he will be suspended early. Yeah, he'll sign and play. I mean, they're not going to not sign the guy for this. I think that's extreme. Let's go with Drake May here. There's Trey Harris showing up. Marvin Mims, all our favorite late picks. Hollywood Brown in the ADP. Getting to that point. Oh. Ray Zanny, does it give us an advantage that we've been taking Javonte, all off season for like pick 130, 135? Do we get a little edge if he starts moving up on the Blue News? I'm fine with that, Jason Calhoun, in most formats. I'm just saying in this format, the Eliminator, I want my whole team scoring for me from the start. Remember, in the Eliminator, half the field gets eliminated every week. So by week 4, you needed to be in the top. You're already in the top 12% or 10%. Well, it's hard to get to the top 10% if a player you drafted is giving you zeros. So like, I don't hate it, but it's got to be for the right price, cheap enough. It's got to be real cheap to make it worth my while. There goes Trey Harris, Sean Hoy. Monitoring the RB situation. Obviously, we've gone past the starting group. We're in the backup zone. Not exciting. Wide receiver group, couple of names, definitely some names I still like here. There's Quentin Johnston, who he said gets a bump with Mike Williams being done for. Here are some names, in terms of like, I'm just looking at the ADP board. Brandon Ayuk is just sitting there waiting, but no one wants to take him. I get it. Oh, he just went. Tattoo freak. What do you take? Tattoo. There we go. Hollywood Brown goes. I was hoping Hollywood Brown would get to me. That's a fun pick. Hollywood Brown is a great pick. Talk about guys who are going to rise in the rankings. Hollywood Brown is that guy. He's going to go from 125 probably 100, 105. He'll get quite a bump here from when Rashee Rice gets suspended, again, which has not happened yet. Again, you guys are just jumping ADP to take names that I like. Darth Apple, now Trey Benson ahead of ADP. It's crazy. You're not going to let me have anybody fall to me, I can see. So that's just how it's going to go. All right. Shots fired. I get it. Shots fired. Bobby Wow, how come you're not in this draft with us? Where are you, Bobby Wow? This one's for you. This is for Bobby. I'll take Caleb. Ray, this is a death knell, dude. This is like the worst possible thing that a coach could say about a player. It's the worst possible thing. Could he get past it? Yes, but to me, this is I got to check. I got to go check this information. But if this is true, again, elevate Javonte. I'm telling you, Miles Sanders sucks. If Jaden Blue is not good, Javonte Williams is going to get. Wait, Tyquan Thornton is in KC now? Oh, wow. Okay. That's a really interesting. That is interesting. I didn't even know he was on KC, and he's doing well in camp. Yeah, I like him. Yes. Love it. Hell yeah. I feel like I want to fund that tattoo. I feel like I want to pay for the tattoo. Tell me how much it is. I'll pay for it. All right, we've got 2 quarterbacks, 1 tight end, 3 running backs on this team. I don't need more quarterbacks. I don't want a lazy fucking running back, Jaden Blue, who's next up. Jaden Blue is next up on the ADP sheet, but I don't want that lazy fucker. Hell no. Stinking up my team? Man, hell no. Man, hell no. I have some fun stuff coming for the shows all season. I got a lot of clips. We're already cutting clips out for the shows, the in-season shows. We're getting prepared, guys. We're gonna have such a fun season here of DFS. You have no idea. If you're enjoying Draft-a-Palooza, guys, and we're having fun. Yeah, like we're here. We're drafting teams. I'm all about. If you've been around me at all, there's always gonna be laughs. We're gonna have a good time with this stuff because I feel like we're gambling and we're fucking around. And when you're gambling, it's entertainment, right? This is shit we do for entertainment. So I try to make it like having a good time. Somebody actually ripped me in the chat for saying that, but I understand why they ripped me in the chat for saying that. There's whenever somebody says we're here for fun, they're full of shit. Somebody said that in one of the chats for this. They ripped me. They said this guy talking about having fun. People who do that, they're fucking weird or whatever. Oh, you took. Damn. All right. I'm just taking names. I got too many at this point. 7 wide receivers, a lot of good ones. So we're going to be focused on tight ends and maybe some running backs over the next few picks. Yeah. It's not about like when I say fun, like I watch a lot of shows, I watch a lot of streams, I consume a lot of content. Most of the guys are boring and it's fine. Like maybe they have really good information, but a lot of times it's not that good, but it's also they're fucking boring. Right? Or they're too buttoned up or whatever it is. And hey, if you're into that, that's cool. That's not what I'm doing here. I gamble. I'm a degenerate. I try to turn my degenerate behavior into a positive. I love fantasy football, right? We're playing, we're gambling. I'm trying to win money, but also I'm scratching my fantasy football itch all off season long, and that's fun for me, right? I'm not risking life-changing money. I'm putting my entertainment money in this. Listen, it costs $10 at this point. My kid goes to Starbucks and pays like $8 for some bullshit strawberry drink. It's disgusting. I don't know what they sell at Starbucks, but it's like some strawberry drink and it's gross, right? And they pay that $10 and she says, well, this is my happiness. This is my entertainment. All right, fine. You want to buy a stupid Strawberry drink for $10, fine. I want to do an eliminator entry. That's my happiness. And then I want to watch that team. And I'm going to get a little hit of dopamine when I check my results and I see how many teams I made that made it past week 1. What's my percentage? Made it past week 2. Oh, fuck yeah, we got that shit, right? I'm going to get excited about it. And it will give me some happiness, a little dopamine hit. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm not asking too much. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. It's true. By the way, whatever that drink is, I tried it. Yeah, everybody, it's everyone. So I'm going to tell you something. I tried that fucking strawberry shit that they sell. She's like, you got to taste it. It's so good. I tasted it. It's exactly as bad as what you would think. I don't like anything with the flavor of strawberries. Why are these kids doing it? There's a great staying on this subject because I just did think of something funny. There's this comedian, right? And he puts out these clips. And he put out one about Starbucks in the 90s versus Starbucks now. Okay? You got to find this if you can. If you could find this clip, it's Starbucks in the 90s versus Starbucks today. And what the guy's like, in the 90s, everybody thought they were all fancy going to Starbucks. Oh, I'm at Starbucks. Or on hoity-toity and all this shit, right? Like, everybody'd be like all hoity-toity about going to Starbucks in the 90s. And then now you go to Starbucks and it's like, oh my God, somebody shit on the floor. Like it's just the shithole. And it's such a big difference, which is why I'm like, why do the kids even want to go there? No, see, the problem is Starbucks actually does have decent hiring practices. I'll say that's not the issue. Although, you know what? I'm going to say the opposite. Thank goodness for Starbucks, because those freaks that they have working there, they're not like suited to work anywhere else in human society. Yeah, medium. So I'm telling you, it was all hoity-toity in the night. Oh, I'll take a Fente, a Grande. And we'd all feel fancy going to Starbucks, like, oh, I'm spending money for coffee. This is crazy. We'd go into Starbucks. We'd go into Starbucks back in the 90s. You'd have to get dressed with like a sweatshirt over your polo, your pink polo top. You tie a sweatshirt around it, look all preppy and shit. Go in there like, oh, hello, everyone. And you start talking like, like from the oldie timey people. I got from Starbucks. Like you feel all hoity-toity about your trip to Starbucks in the 90s. Now, there's like homeless people in there. You're walking, I think I just stepped in piss. What the fuck is going on? It's a whole different world. Who the hell wants to go to Starbucks? Feel gross in there. Like, I leave Starbucks, I take a tetanus shot. It's gross. Starbucks is not going to sponsor this. Or would it be funny if then I were, thank you to Starbucks for sponsoring this broadcast. It's gross. I don't know how to look up that guy or what his name is who did the joke. I'm not stealing that one. I literally saw it, but it did help. It resonated with me. I'm like, yeah, Starbucks in the 90s versus Starbucks today, man. It is a total difference. But thank goodness they hire those people, because where else are those weirdos going to work? Barista. It's a skill. They opened up a new coffee shop in my neighborhood. Just like, yeah, I think I just stepped in piss. That's what They opened a new coffee shop in my neighborhood, and like it's 2 blocks away from where the Starbucks is. And I'm like, dude, let's just go to the new place, right? I'm like, first of all, I never go to Starbucks for that reason. I'm like, you know what? This new guy opens up a shop. He's out there picking beans or doing whatever it is you do when you open up when you open up your own place, he's doing whatever it is that he's got to do, right? So I'm like, I want to support that guy. Let's take Naylor for the early week touchdown score. What do you say? I really wanted another running back. No. Let's go Tylo. The running backs are toast. I'm just going to have a lot of wide receivers on this team. Did we finish it? Yeah, that was pick 18. So we are done. Yeah. 80s and 90s. Oh, McDonald's. Bro, McDonald's in the McDonald's in the 80s. If you guys remember this, you would go to McDonald's and you would let your kid go to this play area. Like we were kids, so we would go to the play area. Like kids had their birthday party at McDonald's in the 80s and the 90s. I went to birthday parties that were at McDonald's as a little kid. A fucking birthday. Now you send your kid to jump in that ball pit, they're not coming out. It's probably pedos waiting for them inside of the ball pit. It's dangerous. Dirty. So on this note, you know who's going out of business that I just heard? I believe that Chuck E. Cheese is going out of business finally. You know what's next after Chuck E. Cheese? You guys ever heard of there used to be this place that you would go to? Chuck E. Cheese exists. There is one in my town, but they're going out of business. But there was a place, Dave & Buster's. Do you guys know what Dave & Buster's is? All these cool ideas like built around video games. Yeah. Pasta was definitely in here like, I'm just going to go 2 rounds ahead for everybody of ADP because I know Kevin and Tattoo wants those guys. Pasta was in here just to fuck up our shit. Yeah, that's another thing. Gone. Like, the idea of going somewhere to play these video games, it's just not a thing anymore. You don't go. We don't play video games that much. We have video games at home that are really, really good. All right, so let's do a quick assessment of this draft. I don't want to go too far into a recap, actually. So many of you guys are in here in this draft with me. It's crazy. I'm just going to briefly glance and see if anybody fucked up their shit, and we'll make fun of it if that did happen. So, actually, MTK, NT Closet, or whoever this person is, that person might be in the draft with us. I don't know. Yeah, I think this will work. I think this one is in danger of getting knocked out, to be honest. It's just too soft at running back, too early. I don't really like it. I do think he made up for it. I think this is a good overall draft, but, I again, in this format, you got to get past the first couple weeks. Kamara, Brian Johnson, Robbins, B-Rob. I'm not loving it. Sean Hoy in here with Saquon, Caleb, Javonte. I think you saved it here. This could be a really good draft. Caleb's good. Javonte's going to be good, I think. And at 98, you're jumping insane amounts of ADP, but who cares, right? This guy, Hudson River, Huron River Rat, are you in here? Was he in here with us? I don't like the Judkins pick, and even at 99, at this point, knowing that he's got a suspension looming in this format. Connor I like, Harvey's fine. I think this one looks pretty good. Jason, I just think maybe Judkins, even at 99. I guess it's worth it there. RJ Harvey's worth it there. You're going to need Bijan and Connor to do work for you early for this thing to work out. Because remember, and RJ Harvey too, you want 3 players scoring for you as running backs. But, I mean, the wide receivers are really, really good. So we'll see. Love Justin Fields. Like Herbert. That's fine. Decent tight ends. Tattoo. Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams. But then you didn't take other running. Tattoo! What the fuck? Tattoo? What the fuck, dude? Have you not been here on these with me? You got to take 3 running backs in this format. This is Eliminator. There's no time. Yeah, this is and then you have. I like that you have. Actually, I don't even mind that you have the handcuff, but it's just not enough running backs. There's no way this team can get there. This is dead money, Tattoo. This team is dead money. You only have 2 running backs. They're going to have a bye week, and then you're going to have nothing filling in, and then you'll be eliminated. Yeah, so you kind of went like, listen, these drafts go crazy. That's why we do a lot of them. Like, it just gets away from you, and then they probably like, you wanted Connor, he gets taken, you're like, all right, Sutton. You wanted, somebody else here, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, how it got away from you. Fungul, Brown, Kenny Walker, I feel like this got away from you too. I don't understand why you guys are only taking 2 running backs in this format. It's the eliminator. This is drafted. These got to be drafted for early points. Pasta in here snaking everybody's players, but I mean, this is good. Gibbs, Bucky, Daniels, Moore, Pearsall. That's an early take on Pearsall, but I like it. I'm down with it. So Trey Benson there, a little early on Trey Benson too, but that's okay. Yeah, he was dropping nukes all over the place. Yeah, you got to take running backs in this format. It doesn't always work out the first 3. Like, I'll skip one every once in a while if it just forces me to, but like, you got to take running back. I think, I don't know. But you guys, you know what? What the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know? You could be like, Kevin, you're an idiot. I don't want to listen to you, and that's fine too. I probably am. I don't know. BK Doe, this is a dead team. Thank you for the free money. Guys, whoever this person is, BK O'Day, this is just a dead team. He's not going to get past week 1 with just one running back. We don't even have to worry about him. He's got 1 running back, and he's not a very good running back. This team does not make it past round 1. People's Republic, another one. So this is a good draw for us, guys. For those of you guys who are in here with me, we might get past week 1 just because of the kind of like donkeyness of some of these other names. I see at least 3 dead teams, and definitely 2. BK Doe and People's Republic. Both of these teams are dead. Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, and no other running backs. No, that's not going to get past it. This guy only has 1, so these are 2 dead teams. Yeah, Soups, you fixed your slow start at running back. You cleaned it up here, and I think it's fine. And then, of course, I did my 3-pack of running backs, 4-pack of wide receivers. It got a little weird here with the wide receivers. Hindsight, I would have taken Pacheco over Flowers. I would have made that change. Yeah. RBs, let me explain it in the most math way I could possibly explain it, guys. I'm going to just math this out. I've done this before. Let me math this out for everybody so we understand again. Yeah, 57% Chase Brown is great. I don't know how to check all my exposures. I can check them for contest styles, but not all. All right, I'm going back to the lobby. We're going to pick another contest to do here, but let me just make this point. Yeah, Mixon is not a good pick. I agree with you. Let me make this point about why I'm telling you guys in this format, half-point PPR, why I believe that running backs need to be emphasized early. Here's why. Go to any sports book and look at the touchdown props, because we're in half-point PPR, where the primary producer of fantasy points for your team here on Underdog is going to be touchdowns. So let's just start there. Now, take the mediocre running back, and I'm talking real mediocre. Let's go like Pacheco, who's one of the last running backs taken. One of the last guys taken. Oh, I'll do a super flex. You know what? I haven't done many. So let's do super flex next. Okay, I'm in. German Shepherd, but super flex. So let's get in there. That's what we're doing. German Shepherd, but super flex. And I will continue with my point, though. I will continue with my point about running backs. But here we go. 22nd per pick. Super flex German Shepherd starting now. Bam, we are in. All right, lots of room left. So Superflex German Shepherd, we're going to need plenty of time to fill this thing. Luckily, I got a big fucking mouth. So you go to a sports book, and even Pacheco, who is like RB 24 right now in rankings, right? I'll tell you exactly where Pacheco is. Let's go, right? We'll go all the way down to RB 26, Pacheco, fine. If you go and check his touchdown prop for NFL Week 1, it's going to be about minus 110, meaning he'll have about a 50-50 chance on these sports books of scoring a touchdown NFL Week 1 right now. Okay? And his ADP, for comparison purposes, is 90.7. So now, let's go find a wide receiver with an ADP around 90. Okay? Here we go. So, Rome Odunze, Zay Flowers, Juwan Jennings. These are the wide receivers. Jalen Waddle. These are the wide receivers that you're getting around the same price as Isaiah Pacheco. Except, if you check Jalen Waddle's touchdown prop for NFL Week 1, it's probably going to be somewhere around plus 175, maybe plus maybe plus 200. So it'll give him a 1 in 3 chance or lower of scoring a touchdown. Why is this significant? Significant because my point here is that even the shittiest running backs or the mid running backs will have a greater than 50% chance of scoring a touchdown most weeks, according to sportsbooks, and therefore according to reality. Whereas wide receivers, even really good ones, really only ever get up to about a 50 to 55%. Maybe the best wide receiver will be at like minus 120 to score a touchdown. And I'm talking about, the CeeDee Lambs of the world. So in order to get for my touchdown possibility to be at 50% or better on a player, I need to either be taking a round 1 or 2 wide receiver, or I could take just about any starting running back. Therefore, in this format of not worried so much about total score, but we're primarily worried about each week just getting past the week, right? We just need to get to the next week. In that scenario, having more stud running backs early, not even stud, just more running backs, having 3 running backs that are what you're targeting to do the scoring for you in your flex and in your 2 starting spots is king. All right, we are in Superflex, so let's shift mental focus. Ray Zanny, welcome to your first Superflex draft. I haven't done too many of these on Underdog. This might be my second one. But I am a Superflex enthusiast. That is how I play I'll let you guys in on a whole nother little thing. In standard fantasy football, I only play Superflex in redraft. So most of my redraft leagues, almost every league I'm in is Superflex. The only format where I'm not Superflex is like when we're doing these best ball drafts. So for me, I definitely like doing Superflex. I've been doing Superflex for a long time. That's how all my fantasy football leagues are. And so I got a pretty decent feel for it. Now, that being said, when you're drafting where I am, where the fuck am I drafting in this? Am I in here? Did I literally get the 12 hole again for this draft? Ah, damn. So when you're starting late, it does get interesting in Superflex. There will be a massive run on quarterbacks early, understandably. And then everybody gets those quarterbacks. I like to really monitor who has 1 or 2. I like to monitor who has 1 or 2, kind of get a feel for it. But basically, it's to draft QB early or not to draft QB early. And all of these quarterbacks will be long gone. Everybody who's even breathing will be gone by round 7, 6 or 7. Anybody with any life. And when some of those secondary QBs, thirdary QBs, like level 3 types are going, you notice that even then, you're like, man, there's some really good position players that I can take right here. Like, I'll take CM Sizzles, and we'll add a QB to that mix here. So I'm going to start relatively neutral with CMC and Baker Mayfield. But I will tell you that I strongly considered going double RB or just loading up on those studs as well. You're also going to see in this format, a lot of people are going to try to take 3 QBs early, which I don't agree with. Part of the deal in Superflex like this is your team is completely dead if you have no... I like the way my teams look when I wait on QB. I always like it. It always looks better. But your team, if you wait too long, your team will be completely dead. So that's pretty rare. There's a lot of QBs, but sometimes there's also somebody in the draft that is just hoarding them, and they will fuck up your shit. So, keep it in mind. So it looks like... first of all, let me see who's in here with me. All right. Let's take a look at the big board, actually. We'll see who's in here with us. All right, from the chat. So we've got Fungul, okay. So Polak is in here, Soups, Tattoo Freak, Ray, and myself. I can't tell if anybody else... If anybody else is in this chat that's in this draft with us, let me know. But it looks like we got me, Ray, Tattoo, Soups, Fungul, and that's it. King Henry over... Yeah, I mean, listen, either one. I love Henry. I'm taking a lot of him. But I think Christian McCaffrey belongs ahead of him. Christian McCaffrey. So here's the difference for me, King Mana, between McCaffrey and Henry. Yes, he gets hurt too much, but I've gone into this. I don't care. This is best ball. If he gets hurt, I'm just going to accept that team is dead. It's not my season-long league. In season-long, I'm $100, $200 against my buddies. I'm a little more careful, but best ball, I'm doing a lot of entries. So I'll just get my McCaffrey exposures in best ball, and if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. I'll accept it. But if he doesn't get hurt, here's the part. If he doesn't get hurt, I think he will be a higher producer than Derrick Henry. And here's where that happens. Let's say both of them have a full healthy year. Derrick Henry has these monster games when his team is dominating. I get it, and that will continue to happen. But in games where the Ravens fall behind, which does happen, he just kind of gets shut out of those games. Like, he doesn't do as much. So McCaffrey never has a game like that. As long as he's healthy, he's in there and he's putting up numbers. Teams winning, teams losing, it doesn't matter. He's in there. He's putting up numbers. So that's why I took CM Sizzles. I could have taken Derrick Henry and McCaffrey. I thought about it, but I've done a few of these, and yeah, I really don't mind. I don't. What ends up happening is later on when you're forced to take a QB, there's still really good players available. So it's like, yeah, like this guy right here who just took Justin Herbert. He took Justin Herbert when, Bucky Irving's still available, Chase Brown is still available. All these great players are still available. So I noticed that no matter when you're taking these QBs, it always feels like you took one too soon. So that's kind of why I did it. So let me get some Bucky going, right? How about Chase Brown, Jonathan Taylor? Who are the wide receivers? McConkey, Garrett Wilson. You can get McConkey here, but I want to go another running back here. Let's go JT. So here we're going to get a run on QB again, and it's quite possible that they will all be gone. We'll see. If you start to see people taking their third guy, that's where it gets scary. So let's look across the aisle here. Yeah, see, Caretake Lover, already you have your first I took 3 QBs guy. These guys are just morons. And when you do this, you will lose. There's no winning with this start. I'm sorry, there just isn't. That being said, people are going to do it. So you start getting these guys taking 3. Caretake over guy. Who's going to play for you? There are no players. He's got 3 QBs. We're well into like here second and third round type players. We're in round 4. They'll all dry up, and it's just going to be dry and gross. There's no trading. Cats take over. Not care take over. Cats take over. You know what? I'm a fan of that. I do like the cats in the puppy. So it's like underdog, but he likes cats. I get it. Picking up what he's putting out. Here we go. Yeah, you want to go up against a team in super flex with the flex RB where somebody has Taylor, Buggy, and CM Sizzles all healthy. Okay. Fine. I'll do it. Another piece of mini fantasy football news that I didn't mention at the onset. There's another three pack of QBs. So I think those are dead teams. But, we'll see. So other fantasy football news. Ooh, free delivery from Jersey Mike's. I think I'm in on that. There goes Cam Ward. So Major Hale is going for the 4th quarterback. He's trying to block QBs. Jake Freeland takes his 3rd. Anthony Richardson with Fungul, a little early pick there. So that is pretty crazy. I mean, we've got people with their 4th quarterback and no players. 3rd quarterback goes to Dirty P. They have successfully blocked me from having a starter. So now I am stuck with turds. Even Aaron Rodgers. You guys are nuts. Oh, well. See, this is the negative of waiting on quarterback. Now I'm forced to take a QB. And there's like nothing left that's even mildly decent. Take dimes for the injury replacement. Get a wide receiver, and I'll figure it out later. Well, I'm glad everybody has a lot of so many quarterbacks, but they lack good players. So we'll see how that plays out. Definitely not happy with getting Jones there, but if Jones winds up becoming the starter, then this team will be good. Oh, this guy also got caught. Our RC BioTeach got caught with just one. So now you have 2 players. With just 2, and then all of these other teams have 4 quarterbacks and 3. So really weird one. Which is why maybe I should have taken the cornerback in that 2nd round. I took a shot. I blew it. Now we're fucked. I'm going to have to take another QB in this next round or 2 and start grabbing these turd guys. like Flacco, Russell, Shook, those types. Not good. I'm less concerned about. I think that correlation is important in this format. But weirdly, I'm like less concerned about this than I am in normal redraft. Why? I don't know, but I'm a little less concerned about it here. By the way, Superflex, this is a whole other thing. Superflex means you could have a fourth running back scoring for you. So having a lot of good position players, it doesn't really work out over long term. But if you have a lot of extra like stud players, every quarterback generally outscores stud players. Like quarterbacks, full season projection are always going to be massively higher than pretty much every other position, period, end of sentence. So that. Just looking at what's available. Yeah, let's take another running back here. And double down. That's right. I just went crazy. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now it's just getting weird. I loaded up on 5 stud running backs. Fuck them. Think I give a damn about it, bitch? I ain't a sucker. That's what's up. It got weird. Yeah, I thought Darnold and Geno, I thought those types would get to me. They didn't, so now it's just gotten weird. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going crazy. I said, if you're gonna take all the QBs, I'm taking all the running backs. I don't give a fuck. If I have 5 starting running backs, there's no way anybody else can have that many. Yeah, Ray, you've only got 1. Draft dude got nothing. Yeah, let's fuck over the QB hoarder, Major Hale, who should be actually kicked out of this draft for what he did. Major Shale or whatever that guy is. Now, let's take all the running backs so that dickhead can't get any of them. Oh, there he goes. Took another QB. What a fucking ass. This is almost collusion level bullshit. Are you guys seeing this? This guy has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks. He's got 3 wide receivers who are good, but 5 quarterbacks in his first 9 picks. He's been grabbing backups. That's some he said, she said bullshit right there. No running backs on that team. So that's what I did. I said, I'm going to counter him by taking all running backs. Ray, it's not supposed to be like this, Ray Zanny. It's not supposed to be like this. It's just a weird draft. I would agree. So our RC Bio teacher, yeah, he's only got 1 QB. I've only really got 1 QB. Ray, you got your 2, so you're fine. I don't have any wide receivers. I need to get some of those. Yep. People need to scramble now. Let's fill out these wide receivers. Get a stack going for Baker. I'm not sure Godwin is going to play early this season, so be careful. But if he does play, yeah, no tight end King Mana tight end we can wait. Tight end, there's so many available. That's another thing we learned in just doing these over and over again. There's just lots of tight ends available. Even if you miss the studs early, there's all these backups. There are names that are starters at tight end that go round after round after round later, all the way to the very, very end. Where did Rashee Rice go? Let's go make fun of whoever took Rice. Let's just do a little bit of pointing and laughing. Is he still on? Did he get taken? Yes, he did. Where did Rice go? There we go. Jake Freeland. Rashee Rice, pick 71. Actually, that's not even a bad pick for him. So, you know what? I'll allow it. That's not that bad. That's fine. Actually, no, that is bad because this is super flex. He went right after DJ Moore and before Mike Evans, before Jackson Smith. Oh, no, after. But before DJ Moore, before DK Metcalf, yeah, no. We make fun of that. Yeah, he's a donkey. Jake Freeland, donkey. Sorry, buddy. You're a donkey. Major shale or major asshole at the top spot. Major asshole. What an asshole. Does that? Major asshole on the clock. I think he should take another QB. Still not bothering with running backs. He don't need no stinking running backs. He's got all those QBs. I think that guy thinks that QBs will score at the running back position for him. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Why would you do that? Why would you draft a team purposefully knowing that it has no chance of winning? Just to troll. Like, what is the reason that somebody would do that? Is there a human being there that's punching buttons? Or is this a computer that fucked up somebody's draft? That I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Did he fuck up his auto draft? Jeez. I just don't understand it. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to ruin your own draft? That's the part I don't get. Is that what it is? Do we think it's auto draft without positional limits? Could that be? It could be. Could be. I don't think what I see with that guy rises up to the level of something where they're going to cancel the draft. I don't think it's to that extent. See, this is the problem. Now I'm forced to take fucking Joe Flacco and pray for a miracle. Let's take Igbuga just to go with our big Mayfield stack. Got Godwin, Igbuga, all my second-year guys. I'm liking the way my drafts come together, except for these soft-ass QB. Had I taken that second QB, I would have ignored it and just said, fuck it, I'll go with just two. I could have gone with just two. I would have been fine with it. Should have taken one instead of that running back there. But I didn't expect what happened. I looked, I counted, and I said, people aren't so stupid to take third and fourth QBs this early. I didn't think people would be that stupid. Sometimes it happens. And here's the problem. This might teach us a certain way, like, oh, they're going to go nuts and take the QBs early. And then we'll do another draft like this, and that won't happen. And then be like, oh, that didn't happen the second time. I love that everybody's hoarding up all these running backs to leave Dickhead at the end. He already lost. You're not winning. This, what he did here, that would never win. Once you wasted the fourth, even the third pick to me is already dead. But the fourth pick, you're done. Fungul, I mean, taking Anthony Richardson in round 4 is crazy. Bro. Then Soups, you got me. I was like, at least I'll get Gino or Sam. In the Daniel Jones pick, I was sure Gino or Sam would get to me. One of the two. I didn't think this dude would take his third. And this dude would take a third. Everybody got 3. How annoying. Here comes Bonehead. Let's see this guy start scrambling for running backs. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, good luck with Jaden Blue and Austin Eckler as your RB1 and 2. Oh, Polak, that was is that what happened to you? Yeah, I was like, man, I thought that was like a weird pick. Anthony Richardson that early. I thought that was a weird one. But in the end, it might end up being brilliant. I mean, it forced me to take Daniel Jones. I might have taken, had you not taken him, I might have just double tapped Jones and Richardson to just like cover my QB spot. But like I said, that's kind of a bummer if you have to do that. I'm so set at running back, it's not even funny. So I'm just going tight ends and I'm just going tight ends and wide receivers for the rest of this. Every piece of Mims exposure that I get makes me happy. Garendo went right ahead of me. Ray. We don't take handcuffs. Oh, yeah, Ray, you did the same thing. So you waited on Razor waited on running back. And because of that, all this pressure to just add a whole pile of turtly running backs here. But I think you need more wide receivers too. But I get what's going on here. That RB2 spot, and this approach could really win. So I don't mind it. Again, Best Ball Bros, an absolute winning approach. Let's put what Ray did. This is one, but it never looks good or feels good when you're doing it. Is Hero RB, Derrick Henry, your anchor, and then a whole pile of crappy backup RBs that all have legit RB1 potential if the guy ahead of them gets hurt. That's what we got going on here. So Ray Zanny, if my running back Swift and McCaffrey get hurt, you're fucking living large with this team. Yeah, this idiot on the end, still so far just 2 total running backs. Neither one of them is anywhere near a starter. Another backup running back. So he's just going to keep loading up on backup running backs now and lesser backup running backs and hope for the best. Hopefully he won't get bailed out. Interestingly, this team, yeah, it's just okay at wide receiver. It's not like that great. He did build a stack, so great. But like, what stack are you building? You have Lamar Jackson, Caleb Williams, like what? And weirdly, he's building a Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs Packers stack. So good luck with that. Freeland went with 3 QBs early. Again, no real running backs on this team of note. I guess a couple of it's going to be tough at running back for that guy. Fungul. Yep, three QBs, although an early grab here of Anthony Richardson. Wait, I'm on the clock, so let's get back to business. Let's get back to business. Again, tight end. Load up on tight ends here. So we got our, let's see. I've got 3 running backs, five running backs, 3 QB, 5 wide receiver, 3 tight end. So I'll be adding wide receivers going forward. And I'm going to try to add another QB in there. Okay, here we go. This draft has a few extra rounds compared to your standard. We're already beyond the standard length of a underdog draft. I think we're in, round 16. So, this one goes to 20 rounds, not 18. Taking Kirk Cousins, just hoping for the trade. Ray, you're I don't even know what's going on. They forced me to take Kirk Cousins. I guess backup QBs are viable in this format. Somewhat. Yeah, it's weird. All right, so let's keep looking at everybody's drafts here. Let's see what, this weirdo, RC Bio Teacher, 68. Dart Wilson, he's got a tough start there at QB. Dirty P, no bueno, 3 QBs. Yeah, actually, it's okay. That's all right. Yeah, Soup's rough. Brock and Gino, that's fine. Yeah, good run of running backs. This is fine. Soup's good job. Tattoo, Jaden, May, that's good. Janty there, good. Yeah, Chuba, Jamo, Pacheco, strong running backs. Debo, Stefan. Yeah, this is a good draft. Tattoo, this is looking pretty good. I like this draft for you. Draft dude really doesn't have a second running back. I don't like this approach all that much. He's going to need a little bit of luck. But again, that does work out at times. Cats take over. Three QBs early. Double down on the RBs. That's fine. This looks pretty good. This actually looks pretty good draft too. So these guys are legit. Recap. Yeah, this is fine. All right, I'm up next. Ray's on the clock. Here we go. Let's go De'Ami Brown here. We're just grabbing names. Adding some names to the mix. I have a crazy one here. I'm going to do Kenny Pickett. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. I took Joe Flacco and I backed him up with Kenny Pickett. Just kind of trying to figure out if I can accidentally catch the right Cleveland QB. I don't know. I think both those guys will get a chance this year. So fuck it. I did it. Let's go. Rocking the hoodie. Ooh, I like an offer. Let's go. Little dynasty action, hopefully. All right, I got an interesting offer in my inbox this morning. I send Goff, ETN, and receive a 20-second first plus Joe Milton. 10-team dynasty superflex. What are my thoughts? Okay. Likely mid to early plus Joe Milton. Oh, man. I think you're paying too much in this trade. I think Goff alone is worth, it's 10-team. I need to adjust my mind for 10-team for a second. Let me just brain adjust. I play 12-team. And in a 12-team superflex, Goff straight up should be worth about a mid. The 2027 is 2 years out, so you got to downgrade that one. I don't like Joe Milton as a prospect. How many other QBs do you have? What are your other quarterbacks, Ryan? With this being said, I don't think ETN is worth all that much right now. I kind of get this offer a little bit. I don't hate, it's not the worst thing, but who the fuck wants to wait till 2007? That's first. Second, I think Goff is probably straight worth a first rounder without ETN. But of course, you're giving ETN for Joe Milton, so it's kind of sort of even-ish, I guess. Let's put this. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Oh, you got Allen, Dak, Penix, and Shook. Oh, okay, there we go. So you don't even need the quarterback. Goff is a bonus quarterback for you. Allen, Dak, and Penix. You even have Shook. So yes. You know what I would go back with? I would go back and see if you can get something better than Joe Milton as the throw-in piece. See if you can get, look at the other person's team and see if there's a player that kind of the dynasty community is down on a little bit, but you're not as down. That would be the spot I would look to upgrade. This guy needs a quarterback. Cool. You don't need Goff. Send him away. Getting a you can't judge if a pick is going to be early or late in 2027, but getting a nice 2027 pick, I think, is a win for Goff. I would rather have a 2026, but okay, if it's got to be a 2027, fine. Two picks to make here at the curve. I've got 6 wide receivers, 3 tight end, 4 QB. So I probably need wide receivers here. Who the fuck? I had some ideas. Okay, how about Naylor? Try another wide receiver here. I got Tyler Lockett there, Valdez-Scantling, Josh Reynolds, Jets. Fuck it. All right, we got up to 8 wide receivers now, 5 running backs, 3 tight ends, 4 QBs. Maybe could have taken another tight end there too, but there's no one good, so whatever. I'm fine with what I did. If I had another pick, I might have taken another tight end there. Just because I've got mid to shitty tight ends. So, yeah, could have done that. But, guys, I don't know. What's the overall assessment here doing a super flex? But Ryan Santoro, back to your question. Absolutely. I think I would try to squeeze something a little better than Joe Milton out for that second B. Look for that name that you might – even Tank Dell, who, is dead this year, but no one wants him. But he'll have value next year. Try to add something good in there. Yeah, I feel like we all went unhinged. Let's look at the unhinged Ray Zanny draft here. Lamb got the double, got your QBs in there. Yeah, I think unhinged was when you went double stud tight end. That is pretty intense in this format. And then you forgot to have a second running back, so then you went crazy. And the wide receivers are not that great. Oh, wait, Lamb, Higgins, and Smith are really good. Yeah. And so, yeah, the late ones are okay, but you only have 3 wide receivers. I think this is not a balanced team, but you knew that when you took the second stud tight end early. And the problem is the second stud tight end and not having a second running back meant that here in 107 and 110, instead of taking Pearsall, Godwin, still really good wide receivers who are available, you end up forcing. So just a little psychology here, Ray Zanny, this one's for you. You've done a million of these, This decision right here to take Sam Laporta or the George Kittle, whichever one you want to call it, Kittle ahead of, James Cook, Sam Laporta ahead of Swift, Montgomery, whatever you want to look at it. I would say that this is the decision point with just one RB that forced you here to go on a run of just taking running back at a time when there were still good, productive wide receivers and other positions available. So it ends up with a team that's thin in some areas because you had to take basically 7 running backs in a row to try to get 2 useful starting running back value back from it. So, it is what it is. That's where I would look at it and go, man, if you hadn't done that, it could work out better. And then, of course, the backup QBs late, I think, is actually fine. I think this might be what wins these type of leagues. When you have players like, I think in these Superflex, it might really help to do this approach. Certainly the last couple of years with all the injuries to quarterbacks, taking these backup QBs was like really useful. So we'll see. For me, listen, it went a little weird on me. I ended up having to go Baker Mayfield and then a whole bunch of backup QBs as well. Flacco and Kenny Pickett. I don't fucking know. Danny Jones. But as a consequence, I do have some really good running backs and some decent wide receivers as well. So weird draft. But always good times. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. That is going to do it for Draft-a-Palooza Friday. We'll be back next week. We'll try to bring some guests on. Have a little fun. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. Draft-a-Palooza. Remember that we are doing these Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Multiple we're just drafting best ball teams. Going over fantasy football news, notes, all that good stuff. My rankings have been updated, so you guys can check those out on the dfsarmy.com website. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Good luck. We'll see you back on Monday. Good luck this weekend with all the DFS action. Don't forget MMA on Saturday. Lots of good stuff. NASCAR on Sunday. And, of course, all the other good sports that are going nonstop. MLB show back today at 5:30, so make sure you guys are checking that out if you're into MLB and you want to hang with Tattoo and Crew. Take care, everyone.